Now, the first communication hack comes from two professors from the Harvard University that invented the Harvard principles of negotiation. And the principle is, be soft on the person and hard on the issue. What does that mean? Soft on the person, let's start with that. Well, already Cicero, over 2000 years ago, said that you should be as careful with your words as you are with your actions. And most of the time we are not 100% careful with our words, and that means that from time to time we hurt people with our words without even noticing that. So I give you 4 examples of hurting sentences from our everyday life. For instance, example number 1. You're wrong. Saying that you're wrong is obviously not a nice thing to hear. We always want to be right. We also think that our logic and our reasoning is correct. And if somebody tells me that I'm wrong, I feel hurt by it. And this is something you should clearly avoid. Or a second example, you misunderstood me. Now, if somebody misunderstood me, I blame the other person for not being capable of understanding what I say, when actually probably that was my fault, that I articulated myself in a very ambiguous way. Or by saying, you're right, but, and then adding something. This word but actually destroys everything you said before. That means that the other person will not really believe you that you meant that he or she is right. And actually there is a nice quote, never put a but in the face of an angry person. Meaning that people actually get really irritated when you include a but in your sentence because it sounds like a contradiction, it sounds like a criticism on everything they said. Or the last example, saying, well, that's irrelevant here. Again, saying to another person that something is irrelevant is maybe true from your perspective when you think this is not important, but for the other person this point or this argument might be very relevant and the other person has good reasons why for the other person something is relevant. So by saying something is irrelevant, you also attack the intelligence and the mind and the thoughts and maybe the emotions of the other person. And the problem with that, and William Ury and Roger Fisher mostly write about negotiations, but the problem with that is when you attack the other person, if you're not soft on the person, then you actually destroy the probability for an agreement. So you should be rather like a diplomat, using soft words and being soft on the person and never attack the person, because people remember really well when they have been attacked. Actually, in my coaching, sometimes I ask people, do you remember when the last time somebody attacked you, somebody from the family or your colleague or maybe even your boss? And people exactly know when and how they were verbally attacked. So people remember, and that's why it shows us clearly the importance of being soft to the person and getting the agreement or getting a good conversation. However, we should never confuse being soft on the person with being soft on the issue. Because we should always be hard on the issue, knowing what we want, not get too distracted away from our topic, not to get too emotional, and actually forget what we wanted from the other person. So being hard on the issue means to focus on the thing that you want, because there is always a reason why you met with another person. Never forget about this reason and fight for this reason, obviously not with fists and not with strong words, but always keep in mind what you actually want to achieve in this special one-on-one conversation. And you should ask what you want from the conversation in a twofold way. First of all, I would always ask myself, what is my minimum goal? What do I want to achieve with this special person in our conversation? And I don't want to end this conversation before I don't get what I want with my minimum goal. But you should also think about the maximum goal. So if everything goes well for you in this conversation, what would be the perfect scenario? What would be the unicorn, the fairy tale? What would be the paradise that you can achieve in that conversation? And always keep in mind what your minimum goal and your maximum goal is, and try to pursue it as hard as you can on the issue, but always be soft on the person. Das war ein Ausschnitt aus meinem Online-Kurs und den Rabattlink zum gesamten Online-Kurs findest du in der Description unten. Und abonniere gleich bei der Gelegenheit auch meinen Channel für weitere Rhetorik-Tipps kostenlos.